Hello everybody, welcome back to the studio. My name is Justin, and in this video I'm going to show you my edge finishing process for veg tan leather. So the reason I'm specifically highlighting how to edge finish veg tan is because I think it's what most of you are likely using. You're probably not using shell cordovan or chrome tan, and if you are, then if you understand how to properly edge finish veg tan, then you can easily do shell cordovan, which basically edge finishes itself, and you're set up to start tackling chrome tan, which is going to be more difficult to get a really nice, clean, solid edge on. So with that, I'm going to put some music on, get this wallet made. If you want to skip ahead to the actual edge finishing process, check the description below. I've got a chapter marker there. Let's get into it. And just like that, the wall is done. Now we can start on the edge finishing process. I'm going to give you my point of view, and I will show you a second point of view so you can get a really good idea of what it is I'm doing. Let's get into it. So I use 3 different grits of sandpaper in my Dremel tool. 180, 320, and 600. You don't have to use a Dremel. The same process, the process that I'm going to do here will apply if you do it by hand. I just find the results from using a Dremel are just way more efficient than sanding this whole thing down by hand. The Dremel that I have is this old Dremel 300 series. Whether you need something like this that's corded, you can get these things on Amazon now for pretty cheap. I'm not sure the power difference. This one says it goes from 5,000 to 35,000 RPMs. I use this at maybe 4. So I don't know if you need a whole lot of power. I don't think you do. But if you want to pick up Dremel for cheap and try it out, you'll probably be impressed with the results versus doing this by hand. Okay, so we're going to start out with our 180 sandpaper. And we're going to knock down this edge until it's nice and smooth and even. Okay, so after that first pass with the 180 is done, I'm going to take a look at the edge and see how much of a lip I have here. If it's a really heavy lip, which in this case I do have, I'm going to take that off now. If I didn't have to remove much material and there wasn't much of an edge here, I would jump straight over to my 320 and then finish the edge at that grit and then come in with the beveler. But since I took off quite a bit of material, I'm going to go ahead and knock off this bevel, this raised lip, whatever you call it. And then we'll switch grits over to the 320. And then repeat the same process. Okay, with our 320 done, we can now take off any edge that may have come up again. If it has, it probably shouldn't at this point. You should only need to take that edge off once, but sometimes if the leather is a bit softer, it is more prone to rolling over. So just check quickly. You'll get to know your leather that you use most regularly, whether you need to do that once or twice. And then from there, move on to the last grit, which is 600, and start the process all over again. So hopefully you can see at the end of 600, we've still got a pretty good shine, and we have not used Tokonol yet. So that's what you're aiming for, is to get a near polish just from your sandpaper. If you do that, then the foundation for the Tokonol is going to be set, and you're going to get a really nice edge. So that's kind of the key, is working through with your 180 to make sure that edge is really nice and flat, nice and even. The 320 I find refines that just a little bit more in preparation for the 600, which actually starts doing the polishing. So then from there, we can take our Tokonol, spread it onto that edge, and see how we've done with our sanding. If there's any low spots that are still rough, then you're going to see it at this point once this Tokonol goes on. And you may, hopefully not, you may have to go back to your 180 if you notice a spot that's exceptionally low and is still rough, because it's not going to polish up like the rest of the edge. Some will use a water burnish between their sandpaper for this reason, because when you put water on the edge, it's going to highlight any low spots really quickly. So there's something to be said for using water in between grits, just to ensure you've done the work necessary at that grit. So you do your 180, add some water to that edge, just like you would Tokonol. Let it soak in. You're going to see any low bits, low spots that are there on that edge. And then you'd move on to your next grit. So we add that second layer now on top of that first layer of Tokonol to start building up. The ingredient in Tokonol, I'm not sure exactly what the ingredient is, but it's a resin. That's actually what's drying and what you're polishing. So that's why we can build up our layers of Tokonol to get a more polished edge. And usually 2 rounds of Tokonol will be enough to get that edge nice and shiny. Okay folks, that is my current edge finishing process. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. If you want to get this pattern, this is my Orco wallet pattern. You can get it on my website. I'll also leave a description for that below. And as usual, head over to my website, norfolkhandmade.com. I've got a whole section under the About section that's a whole list of resources, all of the different suppliers that I've used, the tools and materials I use in my shop. You can get all of that listed on my website. for free. So that's it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.